Hello everyone, it's Foo here, and today I want to talk to you all about Avalugg buffs. Avalugg is a really awesome Pokemon with so much potential, and I think that potential is finally being realized this generation, so I really can't wait to talk to you about this Pokemon. Before we get into the video, please consider leaving a like because it really helps out the channel and lets me know what you want to see more of. So first, let's consider some basics about Avalugg and understand why it wasn't so good in previous generations and what it can do now that's so much better. So Avalugg was introduced in Generation 6 as one of the many awesome designs from that generation. This mono ice type is a behemoth of physical prowess. It's got a really good HP stat, a mammoth defense stat, and in Pokemon Sword and Shield it's actually the third highest defense stat in the game, as well as a very decent attack stat. Those first three stats are really the standouts for this Pokemon. Combined, they make for a really interesting Pokemon. Its special attack stat is nothing to write home about, but that's fine, you've got your other physical attack anyway. But its special defense is also very low, which is not great. Despite having a decent HP stat, that low special defense stat is definitely an Achilles heel, especially when coupled up with its very low speed stat. So quickly, some pros and cons for this Pokemon. Pros, it gets Rapid Spin, which is great, as well as Recover, which is fantastic for a bulkier Pokemon. Cons are its many weaknesses, especially its weakness to Stealth Rock for something that learns Rapid Spin, and that special defense stat. So what can it do in Pokemon Sword and Shield that's so much better? Well, the first and most obvious change is this Pokemon gets access to Body Press, which is huge. It's so good for Avalugg. Body Press is a new fighting type move that does damage based off your defense stat. So obviously with Avalugg's ridiculous base 184 defense stat, it will do insane damage with this Body Press move. What's really great for Avalugg is that fighting is a great coverage type for an ice type, so its stab ice type moves combined with a fighting type move hits so many things for good damage. So it's really great to have this option. What's also really cool is Avalugg has tons of ways of boosting its defense, especially Iron Defense. So this raises its defense by 2 stages in 1 turn, allowing you to tank even more attacks, but obviously also doubles the damage of your Body Press in that first turn, which is crazy and so good. So in singles, this is a really neat way to kind of set up and potentially sweep through your opponent if they don't have any special attackers. It's a really cool addition to Avalugg's arsenal. All you need on a set like that is Iron Defense, Body Press, your Ice type move, probably Avalanche, and Recover, and there you've got it. It's just a really cool bulky Avalugg set that can set up and destroy things. So that's pretty game changing for Avalugg. The second buff that I want to talk about is that Avalugg now gets access to another ice type move. It really relied on Avalanche previously, which is a base 60 ice type move that doubles in power when you are hit by a damaging attack on that turn. So that actually works out in Avalugg's favor a lot of the time. If you can tank a physical hit and then double the power of your Avalanche, that does so much damage because it becomes a base 120 move, and you're probably moving last anyway because you're base 28. Something to note though with Avalanche is it's a minus priority move, which means you always move last. And that's not great if you want to run Avalugg like on an offensive Trick Room team. You don't really see that much. But now Avalugg gets access to Icicle Spear. This is a low base power ice type move that hits 2 to 5 times. So it gives you an option to actually have an attack to use in Trick Room. What's also really nice is the Icicle Spear turns into a more powerful Max Hailstorm. So that means that if you do have a Trick Room team, you can Dynamax your Avalugg and you'll be doing a lot more damage with your Max Hailstorm. So that's a pretty neat secondary effect too. Also, the fact that Icicle Spear hits multiple times is pretty nice for getting rid of Pokemon with Focus Sash. So this means that your matchup against leads can be a bit better, because say if you're against a ground type that has Stealth Rock, it will allow you to hit that ground type for super effective damage and you don't have to worry about them having a Focus Sash. So all of these are really cool reasons why Icicle Spear is a very viable secondary ice type move that Avalugg wants to run. I would say on your bulkier sets, Avalanche is definitely still your preferred option, but for any sets where you might want to Dynamax, or if you're using it in Trick Room, you want to consider Icicle Spear. The third buff that I want to talk about is going to be Avalugg's ability Own Tempo. This ability previously was pretty useless. It prevented the confused status, but obviously that's very situational. It's completely useless if your opponent isn't using any moves that cause confusion, so a lot of the time you wouldn't really see that. Now, it actually also blocks Intimidate, which is much better. On most Avalugg sets, that's going to be a pretty nice one to run. run, especially in doubles where you see a lot of Intimidate users. It means that you won't be getting the attack drops and you will be keeping your damage output. So that's really cool for Avalugg. Its alternative abilities like Ice Body isn't so great, although if you Dynamax with Max Hailstorm, you'll be getting some recovery. Alternatively, you could run Sturdy, which is better if you are worried about going up against a special attacker that might one-shot you. But I would say that Own Tempo on most Avalugg is probably a decent way to go, because you can block those Intimidates and you can also be immune to Confuse. I actually used a Trick Room offensive Avalugg in doubles, and it was really neat because you can swagger yourself and give yourself a +2 attack while preventing the confusion, and no intimidators can then drop your attack. So that's a really nice ability for that kind of set now, and it makes offensive Avalugg much more viable. So that was really cool. I'm actually going to leave a team code for that team in this video if you want to try it out. It uses Trick Room Malamar, because Malamar is the only Trick Room user this generation to get access to Swagger, so I thought that would be a really cool addition, as well as things like Togekiss to follow me and help you get that Trick Room set up, because Malamar isn't the most reliable Trick Room setter. But I think it's a really cool team, so you can try that out if you want. The last thing I want to talk about today is Avalugg's capabilities as a Rapid Spinner. So there are a couple of things that have changed with that make it better. The first one is definitely the introduction of the item Heavy Duty Boots. What this does is it makes the holder completely immune to the effects of entry hazards. In singles 6v6, which you mainly see on Pokemon Showdown, the Smogon format, entry hazards are very important because there's a lot of switching involved, so Stealth Rock, for example, will do a lot of damage. And that is crippling for a potentially really useful Rapid Spinner like Avalugg, because it's an Ice type. It takes 25% when it switches in on Stealth Rock. It also is susceptible to spikes, toxic spikes, and sticky web. So it's really a poor typing for a Rapid Spinner, but now it can hold the Heavy Duty Boots and not have to worry about any of that. So it's a much better Rapid Spinner than it has been previously. Along with Recover, it means that it can stick around a long time. If you put the right investment into its EVs, you could give it some special defense investment, because it gets a lot of benefit if you invest in its special defense compared to its defense, which is already insanely high. You see much more benefit investing in its special defense. Yeah, it's just a really cool Pokemon. So Rapid Spin, Recover, Avalanche, and Body Press makes for a really nice set, and I advise you to try it if you haven't already. The other thing that's changed is with Rapid Spin, you actually get a speed boost, which most of the time probably won't mean anything because Avalugg is so slow, and on a Rapid Spin set, you're most likely going to be maxing out your bulk, so you won't have any speed investment anyway. But it is a cool consideration to make, maybe if your opponent does have some other really slow Pokemon. Getting that Rapid Spin off means you then outspeed and can recover before they can attack you, for example. So that's a really interesting aspect with the Rapid Spin speed boost. Definitely not the Pokemon that benefits the most. Rapid Spin was also boosted in power though. I guess that's more significant for Avalugg because it is quite a strong Pokemon, and so you'll be doing slightly more damage to your opponents too. All round, it's a better Rapid Spinner than it has been in previous generations, and especially when you combine it with the other buffs that I've talked about, like Body Press, Avalanche and Body Press make it actually really hard for opponents to switch in on it, so it's a really neat Pokemon in that respect. So that's Avalugg. All in all, I think it's actually so much better this generation than it ever has been before. Heavy Duty Boots in the singles format is definitely a big change to that. Body Press, as well as the changes to Own Tempo, all add up to a really interesting Pokemon. Definitely has some strange niches that people haven't seen. I love using it in Trick Room. Try that offensive Trick Room team out in doubles if you want to. But that's going to be all from me today. I've been Foo, you've been awesome, and hopefully see you next time. Goodbye.